I walked you through the first class lounge experience. I walked you through checking in, finding a flight, the seat, the dining, the bed. In this video, I'll walk you through step by step, arriving at London Heathrow Airport, checking in, going through the terminal, going into the Cathay Pacific Lounge is the lounge I used. We'll do a little bit of a cabin tour, a lot of the seat tour, the bathrooms, the pajamas, the food, the alcohol, everything that's offered on board, and the experience. At the end, I'll even show you how I booked this ticket. So hang out for that, but let's get into it. Okay, this is me arriving at London Heathrow. There are a few terminals at this airport, so you want to make sure to go to Terminal 3 if you're flying on American Airlines. So London Heathrow Terminal 3, which is much different than Terminal 5, which holds a lot of their British Airways flights. So Terminal 3, and then it'll tell you which area in Terminal 3 there will be a letter. And so for Flagship first, you go into letter D. And that'll get you as close as you can to the gate that you're checking in. And then you can see here there's a dedicated check-in for first class. It's not overly impressive, but it's nice to skip a line. And then with a first class ticket, you're given what's called fast track, which is a faster process through security. As you might have seen in my other videos, make sure to buy something for the crew if you're able to. If you have a little extra money or a little extra time, I like to bring a box of chocolates when I board the flight. Okay, this is the Cathay Pacific first class lounge. It's actually two lounges in one. There's a business side and a first class side. First, I go to first, I guess. I'll go to first class and show you around a little bit. So walking in, you see this self-serve alcohol area, beer, wine, cocktails, also sodas if you'd like, but it's just sort of serve yourself in first class, pour as you'd like, and it's got fantastic views. I'm sort of just going to walk around the lounge and give you a tour of the layout and generally what it looks like. This is the first class dining area. It's like a restaurant, but there's no prices on the menu, so you just choose what you'd like, and I'll show you a little bit later what I chose. There's wonderful seating areas. I really like Cathay Pacific First because it's pretty spacious. And then here's what they call the pantry. So it's all the food you'd normally find at a lounge that you can take, but this is all really high quality versions of that food. But it's self-serve. They have juices in here, refrigerated things, yogurts. It's nice. If you don't want to do the restaurant deal, just go into the pantry and get yourself a snack. You'll be thrilled. It's wonderful food. And then the first class area stretches down this hallway a little bit, and then back you can see wonderfully big windows of the tarmac and all the planes out there, and then just also sitting areas and a lot of space. So there are a couple things that I've done some research and seen online, especially with Cathay Pacific. They have some fantastic food. So here you can see it's pretty good amount of seating for first class. I don't know, I'd call it like 20, 25 seats in here. It's really nicely laid out, a lot of space. Here's their menu. I'll just scroll through it really quickly so you can see. There's also Western options as well as noodle dishes. And then you'll get to see my dim sum and spicy peanut noodles, which were both really good, really outstanding. Even for breakfast, I would have gotten these at any hour. The best little bit, I think, is that orange dim sum looking crab dumpling, I think. Here I am eating it, wearing the same shirt. But really good breakfast. Even though I just woken up, showered at my hotel, caught a taxi to the airport, and then got into the lounge, I wanted to take a look at the shower facilities they have here, and they are among the best I've ever been to as far as an airport lounge. So I decided to have another shower and just give it a go, and it was awesome. It was fantastic. Walking in, as you can see, all the amenities laid out on the counter. There's a little place to sit. There's a toilet in here, so it's a really nice little self-contained bathroom. Their shower, it has both a rainfall version and then a wand, so plenty of space in there, and a bath mat. You have a hair dryer, some place to hang up your clothes. I want to make sure to lock the door. Here we go. And like I said earlier, a bench with your towels on it so you can sit down, take off your shoes. They have a toilet, or they have a toothbrush and hair products and lotions and soap and everything you might need to feel totally refreshed and have a nice shower. There's even a cup there so you can dispose of your trash from the toothbrush, or Q-tips, or whatever it may be. And here are the soaps in the showers: body wash, shampoo, conditioner. Pretty standard, but they smelled really nice. So again, if you find yourself in a Cathay Pacific lounge, have a shower. It's great. This is a quick tour of the business class lounge. It's really nice. They have a bar, they have a wonderful seating area, tons of couches, tons of space. There's probably more people in here, so they need the space, but it's very, very nice. And this is the food area. So again, very big food area, self-serve options, drinks. You have your flights displayed right there. Yogurts, refrigerators, hot food, eggs, traditional Western breakfast, and coffee machines. Then you can see the noodle bar to the left, and then all the seating to the right. Let's head back to the first class lounge. Here's the corridor for the first class lounge. Again, just walking past the main entrance, and you can see all of the seating options. I'm gonna go ahead and walk right up to the seat I was sitting in, which has a wonderful view of the tarmac. So right here, I just have my stuff charging and kick my feet up, and you can see, left to right, sweeping views, 180-degree views almost of the tarmac, and planes coming and going, and it's so nice and quiet in there. So again, it's a wonderful place to escape from all the hustle and bustle of the main terminal. Okay, enough time in the lounge. Now it's time to walk to the plane. If you're traveling through Heathrow, especially Terminal 3, pay special attention to your gate number, because we had about a 20-minute walk from the lounge. So again, don't underestimate the amount of time it might take you to navigate this area. We finally got to gate 42, which was the Los Angeles flight, and it says boarding, so we boarded pretty quickly after that. Flight attendants, the flight staff, super welcoming, very, very happy and kind, so that's always nice to see. I'll walk through this little business class cabin on my way to Flagship first. And this is it. There's 8 seats in this cabin. It's a 1-2-1 configuration. So seat on the window, then an aisle, then you have 2 seats together, and then an aisle, and then another seat on the window. It's called 1-2-1. So there's 8 seats in total because there's only 2 rows in this cabin. Now I had seat 1A, so on the left side of the plane, the seat closest to the front. And this is some more views of it. I removed the bedding so you could see exactly what it looks like. This is the layout of the plane. The economy seats, then you can see economy extra, business, and first. And there's 8 seats in that first class cabin. Zooming in here, you see the bedding, and then right over my left shoulder, those are the Bang & Olufsen headphones that you get with your seat. That's the Amenity kit. There's water waiting for me. There's a few other devices there. The Flagship First menu, which will have all the wine and beverage and food options. A little charging tray. And you have some buttons down here for the light bulbs, the TV release, and the tray release. Then the flight crew has left my pajamas here on top of the other pillow and blanket. So I'll be putting those on later after we take off. You can see the entertainment system, which pops out. And then below this little ottoman is a storage area, and I threw my shoes in this teeny little storage area to the right. And then a place to hang your coat, and that's the seat. I'll show you the tray right here. It pops up, and it's huge. It pops up, it unfolds into a pretty large surface, so you can work and share a meal if you'd like. Someone could sit on that other ottoman and share a meal with you. This is easily 24 inches, if not 30 inches long. So it's a wonderfully large area on which to eat or dine with a friend. And it's movable, so you can slide it forward and get out if you need to use the restroom while your meal's being served. And let me show you this additional workspace you have. I'll just move these things out of the way. This actually unfolds and you can have a separate workstation. So you can be working here and then turn and have your meal at the same time, or turn and watch TV and kick your feet up. And behind the headphones, these are all your outlets. You have 2 full plugs plus the headphone jack. So plenty of ways to charge your devices. And there's a mirror on the back side of this little door, so you can close it and you can check on yourself if you need a mirror real quick and don't want to stand up. This is the Amenity kit. It's actually one of the nicer Amenity kits I've ever seen, at least on the outside. So I was really pleased with this little product. And let me just say, all first class, all business class, or elevated class products don't have this, and I'd love to see this in a seat. And you have it in economy. I don't understand why all the premium seats don't have it, but it's air vents. It's air nozzles that you can control. So, you know, how many times are you hot or cold on a flight and want to be able to dictate your own airflow? So American Flagship First actually has these above the seats, and it's awesome. I adjusted it several times during the flight, and I just love having the control to myself. Here's my welcome drink. I asked for a glass of champagne. I'll show you the wine list and the menu. I'll go in depth a little bit more closely so you can see what's on offer with American Airlines. If you've seen my other video with Japan Airlines, they had a fantastic wine list. This wine list isn't quite as good, but again, they offer 6 to 7 different wines, so I'm sure you can find something that you'll enjoy. And here's the menu. This is what's offered on the flight. Again, it's not overly extensive. There aren't a ton of options, but there's enough to satisfy, 95% of the people out there. I ended up going with the Scottish salmon, and it was fantastic. Here's what I was talking about earlier with the 3-position seat. So you have the position for takeoff, which is facing forward, the position for watching TV or your bed or kicking your feet up, which is slightly to the left for me. If you're on the other side of the aircraft, it's to the right. And then you have the 3rd position, which goes all the way over 90 degrees towards the desk. And then the desk unfolds and you can have your laptop or your computer, or you can read or write or do some work. So very nice to have a seat that swivels in all these different positions. I've sped up the pushing back from the gate and the taxiing around the airport, made it a little faster than we experienced in real time, but beautiful skies in London. Fantastic for photography and video, just with the clouds and the blue skies. Super rare to get that in London, so I really enjoyed looking out the window during this time. We're next up for takeoff, so I am going to quiet down and mute the music and let the sound of the engine and everything come through so you can experience exactly what it was like to take off in the 777 in London. Here's the meal service. So we start with some warm mixed nuts, some olives, and then I had another glass of champagne. I opted for the lobster, so it was sort of a lobster and grapefruit salad, and then another mixed salad next to it with artichokes and a pretzel roll as my bread selection. The lobster was really good and had really big pieces, so I recommended if you're deciding between a couple of things, I would lean lobster. This soup is a slow roasted tomato soup with some croutons on it. It doesn't look that great because there was some turbulence and the soup sort of splashed around the bowl a little bit, but it was really good. It was a really good soup. And here's the salmon I was talking about earlier. It was served with bok choy and jasmine rice. This was fantastic salmon. This is restaurant quality Scottish salmon. And because why not, here's the American Airlines brownie with caramel sauce and vanilla ice cream. Now that I'm exceedingly full, it's time to get up and head to the lavatory and change into my pajamas for a little bit of a nap. So the lavatory on this plane is bigger than you would have in economy, so that's nice. It's a little bit bigger, but it's basically the same layout, and it's not that special for the ticket price and for what I would expect from previous flights and in premium cabins. I would expect a little more and a few more amenities in the lavatory, and this just didn't have it. It wasn't bad by any means, but I was just expecting a little bit more since it's first class. Opening the door here, a little tough to do while I'm holding my camera, but like I said, pretty straightforward. It's nice in there. It's clean. Everything's tidy. I just plop my pajamas down on the toilet so I can give you a view. These hooks came in handy for hanging your clothes while you're changing, so that was nice. And you have a little more space than you do in the economy section. So again, I'm a big fan of that. I'm 6'3", and I'll take all the space I can get. And you have tissues and a sink and toilet paper and all the stuff you might expect. But these little compartments to the right-hand side of the sink were empty, and I thought there could be, soap in there, towels, or a toothbrush or something, and that's what I have seen in other first-class products. Here, they just seemed like empty, open spaces, so it was a little confusing, but again, everything was clean and tidy, and I was happy to have my own space. Above the toilet, there's a seat that sort of folds down, and then you can sit on it and use it for changing. So that was very convenient, and I liked that. Here I am in the pajamas. I rolled up the sleeves because they weren't quite big enough. Very comfy, very light. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Please click that subscribe button so you can see my future videos on flights and dining at some of the world's best restaurants coming up. I'll walk you through the Amenity kit. So you have headphone wipes, which is nice. I haven't seen those before. Very thoughtful to give headphone wipes if you're using those shared headphones. Again, this is a really nice bag or satchel or fanny pack or whatever you want to call it. It's very nice. The inside of this has the same sort of things that you would get inside of the other Amenity kits from American Airlines. The socks are the same. The eye mask is the same. The earplugs are the same. These lotions are different. So I'll show you all of these little lotions and creams. But earplugs, toothbrush, socks, eye mask, all that stuff's the same. Here's my route, which will go over the southern tip of Greenland, so that was kind of cool. And it's time to make my bed. I'll give you sort of a dimly lit view of what my bed looked like. Again, plenty of space. I'm 6'3". I was able to stretch out totally fine. I was really happy about the amount of space for first class. And here's a little brighter picture that I was able to capture with my phone of exactly the layout of the seat and this little lamp you have. And then you're offered another meal before landing, about an hour and a half out, and I chose the Cajun chicken sliders, and they were fantastic. I lucked out and the sky was beautiful coming into Los Angeles, some more scattered clouds and sort of a windy day, but it lent itself to these wonderful pictures as we came down towards the runway at LAX. So like I said earlier, this is a $15,000 one-way ticket. I booked it with 102,000, a little over 102,000 air miles, American Airlines miles, which I accrued by using their credit card and flying American Airlines domestically. So I used that plus $300 to cover the taxes and fees. This exact ticket for miles, if you're redeeming it for miles, can be anywhere from 400,000 miles down to 102,000 miles. So depending on the day you travel and depending on when you're searching, it's going to vary wildly. Okay, first just go to the American Airlines webpage. You're going to put in your destination, where you're flying from and to. I'm going to select one way, and I'm going to also select redeem miles. And then I'm just going to choose an arbitrary date a couple weeks in the future on a Sunday because I flew on a Sunday, and click search. And what pops up here are the options. As you can see, 340,000 miles for first class for the same flight on that day, which is way too expensive. You can sort this by number of stops. So I want to fly nonstop. So I'll just sort by nonstop here, and that reduces the number of options. But I want to search for other days. So I'm going to click calendar. Then this drop down, I'm going to click first class. And as you see here, these are the lowest priced days to fly. They're highlighted in green. And you can scroll through and look at different months, and the lowest price always comes up in green. It's looking like it's just getting a little more expensive as we head into the summer, so I'm going to backtrack and look at April. Let's select April 18th, and next step here. Now we'll see the flights that are offered on the 18th, and there we go, 102,000 miles. We're able to find a non-stop flight from London to Los Angeles for 102,000 miles plus taxes and fees. And as you see here, this is on the Boeing 777, so you'll have the exact same seat configuration. And you click over here and you can see the seat map, and it'll show you exactly which seats are still available. So hopefully if you're traveling alone and you like the window, there's a window seat available. But if you're traveling with a couple, I'd suggest the middle seats if you guys don't mind not having direct access to the windows, because there's a partition you can put down and really be able to talk to each other during the flight. And now take a look at this. It's 102,000 miles for this ticket. Same airline, 5 hours later, same flight, is way more expensive. Just 2 rows beneath where I was selecting. You're going to pay over 300,000 miles for the same ticket. And that's why I recommend just searching all the time. You have to do a lot of research if you're trying to really get the best deal. Search often. If you know generally when you want to go, just log in and take a look every day and see if the prices fluctuate. If you click on this 320,000 mile ticket, you can actually see that's considered a deal, and the real price is 410,000 miles. Same flight, I flew for a fourth of the cost in miles. Again, do a little bit of research, do a little bit of legwork, and it will benefit you. So I selected the web special. It takes me to the next screen. At this time, I don't have enough miles, so I could buy some and top off my mileage, but here's where you would proceed after that. It shows 102,000 miles, $313.55. That's it. It's as easy as that. That's how you book an American Airlines mileage ticket if you have those miles. If you sort of like these videos where we check out the lounge and check out seats and I show you how to book really expensive tickets for much less in miles and dollars, I made one going first class from New York to Japan recently, and I'll link it right here.